Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
Where are you, Megan?
I am in Amelia Island, Florida.
Yeah, a little weird, but we're just glad to have you on the show this week.
Yeah. Haven't seen you for like a week.
I know, it's been a crazy week too.
Yeah.
I'm a little tired, so you guys are going to have to bring the energy on this one.
It's going to be a tough one because Robbe got back from his run today. Robbe, what's going on?
I don't know what's going on. I thought I had COVID for sure, but just because it felt the same after my run today as when I got COVID the first time, where I was just totally exhausted. It felt like I had to sleep like right away.
So he tested and he's negative.
Yeah.
But
I bought the test at the dollar store, so who knows?
Yeah.
Did you really?
And it wasn't a test for COVID.
Yeah.
It's a pregnancy test, but he figured it would work.
I mean, lines are lines, right?
Right.
It shows up.
Anyway.
So yeah, I'm like super tired.
It could be that you're exhausted. We've done quite a bit this week.
I don't get exhausted. I actually thought about buying a 5-hour energy just to pick myself up.
I like that. I accidentally left my second cup of coffee at home, so I was really bummed when I was halfway here, and I was like, it's not worth
Do you want to drink
back.
out of mine?
No. I might go get one, though. Yeah, so Meg, you're down in Florida. Have you been doing your runs?
Yeah, and I got to tell you, everyone was complaining up there about how hot it was and the humidity. The dew point here is 79 or 80 every morning, and you basically just go outside and start sweating immediately.
Is it worse than the day we ran in Charleston?
So much worse.
Whoa.
Oh, really? That was brutal.
That seems like it's raining.
Oh, it's so much worse.
Raining without raining.
And then you jump in the pool, and it's like, I'm still, and nothing's changed.
Yeah, the pool is like in the sunshine all day, so it's
That
like
pool is so hot.
It's like a giant bath.
Yeah, that Florida sun hits different too. It's like there's no filter on it.
I jumped in that pool when I was down there, and I was like, it's warmer than the air. Like you jump, and you're like, oh, that's not refreshing.
It's like every time I take my kids to the kiddie pool.
Yeah, exactly. But that's warm for a different reason.
Yeah.
So this week, just to catch people up, we'll get into our running here in a sec, but part of our running involved doing some stuff up at New Balance, the track at New Balance, at the research lab. What did they call it? The running research lab?
The sports research lab.
Sports research, yeah, because it's not just running.
Mm-hmm.
But like, Robbe, what are some of the things that we did?
So we got there with the crew. We haven't announced exactly what we're doing yet, so we'll kind of wait to do that. But we're doing a thing with New Balance where we're training for something.
New York City Marathon.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to get in all the details. We're gonna.
It's out there.
Yeah, we're gonna have a group of runners. I mean, it's been in our stories. We assembled a group of runners that we're gonna train to run New York City. Obviously, there's some marathons that come before that. Robbie's got Erie in September, and Megan and I are going to London in October.
Mm-hmm. Where you're gonna eat toad in the hole and
I'm gonna try
Yorkshire pudding.
I'm gonna try the Yorkshire pudding because some of those guys were saying with roast beef, potatoes, and Yorkshire pudding with gravy, it sounded pretty damn good.
Is that kind of like a shepherd's pie at that point, or
I think it's like sides. I think you have your roast beef, you have your potatoes, and you have some Yorkshire pudding, and then you put gravy on everything.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't sound.
Is it Yorkshire
horrible.
or Yorkshire?
Yorkshire?
I've always heard Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. Yeah.
Like
Third option.
Yorkshire, like it's
Yorkshire.
shortened. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you have London, and then we're doing New York City in
Ooh,
November.
we skipped. Brandon's doing Baltimore as a sub-elite.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
I'm a sub-elite, but it's just because I like to eat a lot of subs. So I'm elite at doing that.
If you see the crew that's running under the sub-elite title, it's a very loose sub-elite definition.
I mean, it doesn't adhere to the technical definition of sub-elite, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. But
I think it's going to be a lot of runners working hard to do the best that they can.
That's a good thing to do. Doing the best you can. So we were doing the best we could at New Balance.
Mm-hmm.
We did some cool testing in the lab there, which is awesome. They have this amazing state-of-the-art facility.
Do you know what I keep thinking? I was thinking about today on my run.
Nope.
So we did a body scan, 3D body scan, and a 3D foot scan.
Yeah.
And I was like, we could make action figures.
Oh man, that's a good point.
Like, how cool would it be?
What did you do with your scans?
Printer?
Pretty sure from my scan it would be more of an inaction figure, but
Yours didn't look bad. You know, it's funny. I think it was very recognizable that it was you.
It really was. I'm a little annoyed that the mustache didn't show up on this.
It kind of does. There's a little shadow.
I'll see if we. You know what? I'll put the photo. I'll get Brandon to put the photos up so people can see what they look like.
We should have video slow motion, and they had a camera that did I don't know, 70,000 frames per second or something. It was something ridiculous. Maybe more than that. It was like 250 frames per second. And they were able to slow it down from that so that you get this slow-mo that is like crystal clear. Shows you exactly where you're landing in your shoe, like how much pressure is coming down. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I'm the only one who didn't get that, by the way.
You didn't get it?
No.
How do you know?
Because he thought I was coming back for round 2, and so he it wasn't, so he just scrapped mine. And so I ended up not getting my slow-mo done.
Yeah, so the 3D scan was really cool. What did you learn from that?
Well, I learned all the measurements of my body part, most of my body parts.
Robbie wants to buy a suit.
I do, actually. No joke. I can basically go online. What's the online? Indochino or something?
I don't know. There's got Bombas. There's
Bombas, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, sponsor shout out.
Is that the socks, custom fit socks for your 3D scan foot?
Yeah, but we can. But I was thinking from the measurements, I finally know what neck size, chest size, waist size, to the T, so I can get fitted for a suit. Right.
Yeah.
There.
Speaking of which, we got to get our the running event gear together for our team this year.
I want to know from your testing who was the fittest human.
I mean, we don't have all the data
Here's
from the
the
VO2, and it wasn't a VO2 max test to test fitness. It was a VO2 test to test efficiency between two different shoes.
Yeah. So that's the thing, is that it's basically used primarily for their elite athletes, so they can see what, the efficiency of a shoe or their body type for fitting, race kits and things like that. And so we didn't get any usable data, I guess, for training purposes.
Anecdotal. Anecdotal. That's what I was trying to say.
I got you. You weren't poisoned.
It was the 3D scan. They can get the perfect singlets and stuff for their athletes. They can, down to arm length of if they do a long sleeve, it's their clothing is going to fit amazing. It's why when you see them out on the track and stuff, it's that shit looks dope.
Yeah.
Because it's fit for them. It's not off the rack medium, large.
I think we were most interested to see if Jared actually had a wide foot.
And honestly, the lady scanning his foot was it's not that wide.
Did she actually say that? Jared says she didn't say that.
I swear she said Jared didn't want to hear it.
You can't actually say that because that would ruin our wide foot expert.
I know, but we're going to get measurements.
All right.
And we'll see, but she was not impressed.
I think she was also an intern, so I'm going to...
Yeah, but she's going to UMass, getting her master's in physiology. Yeah, she was awesome.
I saw this reel on Barstool Sports. I don't think it's real.
Real?
Yeah. You know how they do a lot of people act and then send them in they're lame? But the one reel was this girl said she bought her mom a new Mercedes by posting all her feet pics to one of those foot
fans only
websites
or whatever.
No, there's one just for feet.
Okay, I believe you could do that.
Unfortunately, we all have runner's feet, or I would do that in a second.
You know what? You could try to sell your foot scan.
I mean, that's metaverse stuff. I think people aren't the real thing.
Oh,
I don't know. Would you do that? Would you if you had not runner's feet, would you put your feet on a foot website?
If I could make money taking a picture of my hands or my feet or an ear,
saying.
Yeah, why not?
That's. I mean, it seems crazy that there's a market for that. I mean, I don't know.
Dudes are weird, man.
Yeah, our YouTube comment section is probably gonna blow up after this one.
Yeah, I'd buy your foot, Robbie.
Well, I saw there was some ad. It was another lifestyle blog, and they posted. They were promoting a Vawari review that they had, and the guy's wife was in the photo but barefoot. And the whole comment section was let's see those feet.
Oh my god,
it was crazy. I was man, I didn't know this was that huge of a thing. Anyways, so all that to say, New Balance foot scan, you might have a secondary market there.
Yeah. So after we did the foot scan, we did the VO2 test. It wasn't VO2 max test. It was just VO2 test. Basically, we started off with the 880 shoe. Some of our team had a jetpack looking thing, and it attached to a mouth thing that covered your mouth and went over. So they were running with like a pack and measuring their oxygen and blood content, or however it works. And then the other group was myself and Megan Featherston, who stood in for you, Meg. And we did it on like the really fancy treadmill, and with the hose hooked up to the machine, like heavy duty equipment, cameras everywhere. And we started off with the Super Comp trainer from New Balance, and we did 5 minutes there, and that's just, you kind of plateau on your oxygen use after that. And then you switched off into the New Balance 880 V12, did it again for 5 minutes, then you stopped, you did another 5 minutes in the 880 V12, and then you switched out for your final 5 minutes into the 1080 the Super Comp trainer.
Wait, so say the shoes you ran.
Okay, Super Comp trainer.
Yeah.
880.
Yeah.
880, Super Comp trainer.
Oh, you did like 2 cycles of each. Okay,
Yeah, so you
gotcha.
did one where you started with one where you started
So which
with the other.
shoe are you more efficient in?
I was slightly more efficient in the Super Comp trainer.
Okay.
Megan Featherston was noticeably more efficient in the Super Comp trainer.
Okay. Now,
Mine was like a fraction, I don't know how much it really helped,
okay.
but the thing about it is, I don't feel like it's a real world situation,
Yeah.
because the treadmill's pushing forward.
That's the thing I have with treadmills. I don't understand how I just don't understand how it simulates. I guess it's a static situation where it is. That's the best you can do, but I don't understand how it simulates the real exact.
Well, the only
Well,
thing I
also
can say
you're running on the treadmill for both, so you're comparing the same.
Right.
So you should be more
guess you're
efficient.
right.
it's a level
in one.
test. But when Robbie's talking about the treadmill, I do feel like what I like about a treadmill is if I start feeling the pace, like how fast I have to move my legs, the cadence, that I can take that back out into the street. So as a matter of fact,
Take it to the
this
street.
week I did 400 repeats, and I did them on the treadmill because it was so muggy out, and I just didn't feel like doing it, and I wanted to set the pace and know that I was hitting the correct pace.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, I go out, and then when I hit the road, I know what it feels like to run that pace, what the leg
Really?
turnover should feel like. So I think there is some advantage. But I did, speaking of running, I took 5 days off after grit.
Wait, can I pause?
Yeah.
Can I come back to the New Balance training stuff?
Yeah.
So I did the simple VO2 testing. So it was only comparing 2 shoes one time, so 880 versus the Super Comp trainer. And again, I had like the mask, the jetpack on, which I felt like Cyrax from Mortal Kombat. if
I
anyone
thought
gets
it.
that.
I thought it looked more like Bane.
I mean, definitely Bane vibes. Brandon actually did a good Bane
No
impression.
one cared who I was before I put on the mask.
But you need the mask on to make it sound like it. And so
No one cared who I was before I put on the mask.
that's better. Do the Born in the Dark part. Do you know that?
how's it go?
It's like you.
I was born in the darkness.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I forget the actual line. But anyway, so after my test, I was actually like insanely more efficient in the 880. But caveat that by saying it took me a little while to get used to the mask on the first round, just like to get my breathing right. And then I never run on a treadmill, literally never, only for physical therapy. So whenever I get on a treadmill too, I feel like it takes me a couple minutes. So I think that messed up my...
I don't know, but I look at Robbie's stride, and you're not a big bouncer. You're more of a like, brrr. And so it's possible that
I like it.
it
Maybe.
the shoe, you don't need the bounce.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we did also play basketball, and I did that later that day, like my body was hurting,
Yeah, I think
and
my
I'm
groin.
99% sure it was from the basketball. I was jumping over benches.
He wanted he definitely jumped to try to get a ball before it went out of bounds, and I thought it was the end. I couldn't believe you pulled it off.
Made it. I'm
But-
surprised neither of us twisted an ankle.
Seems it was a horrible decision to do that.
And by the way, how hard is basketball? Like, we think we're in shape because of running.
Right.
It's a totally different
Yeah.
experience.
And I
It's
was-
like trampolines. I got all winded on trampolines. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah. So we played 1-on-1, and you beat me 5-4.
We said it's a tie.
I conceded because I had tweaked. Of course, I tweaked my ankle. I was wearing 574s, probably a terrible idea. And so while we were playing, I was like, okay, like we still kind of have it, Like we're not making any shots, but that comes with a little bit of practice.
There was some moves, though.
Yeah.
There was some explosive energy.
Yeah, but then I think somebody was recording
Megan
it,
Featherston.
and I looked at the video and I was like, okay, this never gets out.
But you know what's funny
We look
is
so-
I actually thought, I was like proud of it. I was like, it's not as bad as I thought it was
I
going to
thought
look.
it was way worse.
No, I think it's the difference between like running pictures. I know what I look like running. So
Yeah.
like if I get a decent running picture, I'm like, wow, that's good.
But anyways, so that was fun. And
Yes.
then,
So inside the track, there's a climate room that controls. You can go all the way from like freezing to high humidity and heat in this climate room. It's insane.
well, at one point we were in there and it was like almost freezing, probably
Yeah.
like 35 degrees or something. And the door we thought locked behind us, and I was getting some Final Destination vibes. from
Yeah,
that.
we got trapped in it for a second. That was kind of scary.
I thought for sure we were just gonna. That was it. We were gonna become cryogenically frozen in there.
Yeah. What else was cool that was there?
They had like a testing room where they measured like the durometer of the phone, or like the resiliency of the phone.
We went over 100,000 on that little.
Yeah, we made a
video.
reel on Instagram. You can see that.
Of the
see
reel.
them testing the fuel cell.
Other things that I thought was cool besides the testing lab, I just like all the technology. Like, they can superimpose, and I don't know how they do it, but they superimpose your skeleton over your video of you running on the treadmill when you're running on the treadmill, so you can see like structurally how your skeleton is moving in the space.
Yeah, I think that's just made up though, right?
It's made up, but it's like it correlated to points.
Yeah, it's not like an X-ray machine.
No, it was a superimposed skeleton, but it matched up. Like you could see, like here's your femur, here's your
Yeah.
stuff. It kind of just showed you where your
And then we
parts
saw a preview of some product coming for the next 2 or 3 years.
3 years. Yeah,
It's pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
there's some exciting stuff.
Anything
coming.
you can. Anything you can.
I think we can talk
talk
about it, but we can't show pictures. I think the more is coming out with the trail version. So for people who want a lot of cushion on the trail, maybe that ultra runner going for the long Arizona desert run.
Honestly, I think it's going to be more of a lifestyle shoe than it looks awesome.
It's pretty.
But they're obviously like the RC Elite, the
Electric Pineapple.
Yeah.
Can't even tell you what that is.
Did we see the Rebel? Just the V3. There's no
Yeah.
V4, right?
Which we will be highlighting soon. We have taken possession of pairs, and we'll let you know how those are going. That's one I'm excited to run in because I do think it's like maybe the only one that's going to compete with the Asics Nova Blast 3.
Yeah. But anyways, that was pretty much it. We had a good time. We were just there for like 36 hours. Did get a short run in. That was nice. And then we're back.
Yeah.
So Meg, have you been running while you're down there?
Yeah. I've actually been logging a lot of miles because I've been getting up and running, and then a lot of times Ryan, my brother, will want to do like 3 miles in the afternoon. So I've been like doubling.
Nice.
So actually I think I probably have pretty high mileage, which I wasn't even sure if I was going to have any miles or be able to do stuff. So yeah, I'm just running when I can right now and sweating a shit ton.
Yeah, without getting into it, you're down there. It's not for vacation. It's a little more stressful. So is the running helping with like you keeping your sanity right now?
Yeah, I think it's probably the only thing keeping my sanity right now. So I'm probably running too much. There's probably a ton of stress on my body and mind right now, but it's keeping me going. So I'm just going to keep running.
How often are you doing laundry?
So right now I packed like 4 pairs of Tracksmith shorts, and they're just like in a constant rotation of I run and then I jump in the pool and then I hang dry them and then I like use them again.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to do laundry today, and because they've all been used like 3 times.
Yeah, when we originally packed, we were going down there for what, 3 days? So how much stuff did you?
Yeah.
I came back so that we could do the Boston project. Meg stayed in Florida, but you packed not for. Do you want me to ship some stuff down?
Hey, Meg, I'll be there on Tuesday. I can bring some stuff down for you.
Oh,
I mean, I really could.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to think about that one because I didn't pack like sports nutrition. So like I did a workout yesterday, and luckily I had a Martin. But I'm like, I have a long run this weekend that I'm a Morton that I'm going to try and do, but I'm like, I also don't really have the right nutrition. I might just die out there. I don't know.
You could order from Running Warehouse and get Morton at the house there before this weekend.
That's true.
Or
there are distribution centers in Georgia. You can probably get it in like a day.
Should I bring the podcast equipment down? Me and you can do the podcast, Meg.
You expect me to learn how to get on the computer?
You just have to call in.
Yeah, good luck.
But yeah, that's good. What shoes are you running in? Because you said you only brought like 2 shoes, right?
Yeah, I only packed. I brought the Saucony Pro, the Endorphin Pro, and Endorphin Speed, and then I brought the 3, and then I brought the New Balance SC Trainer, which that shoe is really, really growing on me. Like the more I run in it, the more I really like it.
I feel like that's the general consensus among everyone.
Yeah, I think I was a little disappointed at first because I thought it was going to be for something else. But as just a cruising shoe and just nice cushion and running along, it feels great. I'm debating on what I'm going to wear for my Saturday long run because you put speed into it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've seen a lot of comments just from other people who have had the SC Trainer, and it seems a lot of people were saying this is like my long run or my training shoe for the fall. Like they really love the comfort of it.
I do like switching it up. It's a little too much cush for me to wear every day.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
But so, and Thomas, how's your running going? You said you took some time off after Grit.
Yeah, I took 5 days off after Grit. And I do feel like I'm feeling the effects of Grit. Like my body just feels a little beat up, but I'm taking it easy and not going nuts. I did my speed work yesterday. I'm just kind of like getting back into marathon training for London.
Okay, good.
What about you, sir?
So my ankle was still like a little weird last week. I was still running off and on it, and then it came around this week. It feels pretty much back to normal. But my high hamstring, which I always have problems with on my right side, it kind of like flared up a little bit because I was using that leg so much last week. So kind of dealing with that, just trying to make sure I keep up with my exercises. But today's run was absolutely awful. I don't know what I wanted to do. Definitely stop, but I was just like, I was like running and I was like go up a small hill. I'm like, I'm stopping. It's like a mile in. Like this is
I've had
stupid.
days like that.
And I mean, I finished it. And then after I was done, I was just like totally exhausted. Like I said earlier, and just wanted to sleep. And I was like, well, that makes me feel better because I feel like I'm a little sick. So, I was just like, how am I this out of shape? Like it feels like you're getting heat acclimated again. And so I don't know. Maybe I think I have a little bit of a cold. I think my kids got something from daycare. Tested negative for COVID, so we're good there. So
For now.
He'll
go home tonight and it'll test positive, and I'll be like,
Robbie, you need to get your iron levels checked.
I was actually gonna say I need to do that like next week. Like go or
why don't you just buy a bottle of iron and just start taking them?
Just start.
It's not expensive.
Can you blend iron like in a Ninja blender? Like if you threw in some. Like
why wouldn't you just take it as a pill?
Well, I don't know. If you just cheaper way to do it.
What do you mean cheaper?
Like actual iron, and then you like.
Oh, the metal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same thing.
Okay. Probably not going to do that then.
Yeah.
But I did want to.
Do you like to taste the scabs?
No, I actually don't do that. I was just walking down the street taking my lunch break walk, and I found this sign on the ground. Oh, dude, don't tell me I actually deleted it by accident.
I saw a sign.
No way. I might have deleted it.
You deleted the picture?
I think I accidentally did. Hold on. It might be in here. Sorry, people.
I saw the sign.
So, anyways, it was a sign. Man, I'm so mad I don't have it. It said, it was written on a piece of paper, but it was on the sidewalk. And it said, help, mouse caught in a live trap, and we don't know what to do with it. We'll Venmo or Cash App you $10 to get rid of it. And I think they just had it like on their door, like just because they wanted somebody to get rid of this mouse that was caught in a live trap for them.
Do you know what you do with that?
Yeah, get $10.
Right, but how would you get rid of the mouse?
I have ways.
I just stick it underwater.
Well,
Oh, gosh.
well, I'll tell you one story real quick because this is how I got rid of a rat before.
Send in your rodent. What do you call this? What do you call the people that
Extermination
Extermination service.
Yeah, no,
Check.
actually, for real, it is. So obviously we have rats in our alleyway because we live in Baltimore and whatever. And one day we're in a group text with my neighbors, and somebody texted us, and she was like, I need help. There's a dead rat in my recycling bin, and I don't know what to do with it. So my wife says, Robbie will take care of it. I was like, cool, thanks. That's exactly what I went to do on a Sunday morning.
At least she knows you.
Yeah. So I guess I have a reputation. And so I went out there to the back alleyway to check out the rat. I was just going to put it in a plastic bag, throw it in the trash, whatever. And I look in the trash can, and there's like 4 inches of water and a rat in there that's not dead. Because she said it drowned in there. That's what she said. And I looked in, and it's just looking at me with its beady eyes on its hind haunches. And I was like, oh, cool. So now I had to figure out how to kill this rat.
Put a lid back on it?
And it was like one of the big blue recycling cans with oxygen for days in that thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I was like, what do I do? Because I do have a pellet gun, but I was like, I'm not going to walk out in the alleyway with it and...
terminate the rat.
Yeah, but you have to kill it because it's like, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna you're just gonna try.
No, you
kill
don't
it.
let it out.
Like, they're not good for.
Why couldn't you just set it free?
Because then they're just got rats in the neighborhood.
Yeah, the whole point. Then you call someone to kill the rat. And it's like, I might as well just do it.
I get a can of
before it
gasoline
has
and just light the whole thing on fire.
No, I'm not sick, dude. And before it has 20 baby rats, you know what I mean? Like, you have to get rid of it because someone's gonna. So
I hate this story.
I do too. I don't. It's not like I enjoy doing this. A little bit in a sec, but the burden fell to me, and so I was like, well, I guess I have to like put it, shoot it with the pellet. Is this okay for the podcast?
I don't know.
We'll see. And so
there are no rules.
Yeah, and so I pulled the. I was pulling the can to like go to my back patio. So I could do it, and then as I'm pulling it, it just starts jumping like almost.
No, thank you.
Almost out of the trash can, the whole way to the top, and I'm losing my mind. And so I eventually, finally, got it to my back patio, eliminated the threat, and that was that. But it was a crazy experience, and honestly, I don't really enjoy doing it. So, but now my neighbors think that's what I do.
Well, you look like that guy.
Yeah, true.
Ralphie, speaking of this, Megan, when I was walking Ralphie yesterday, there was like a bird sitting on the sidewalk, just kind of sitting there. Clearly something had happened to it. Maybe it flew into a window or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's just sitting there. And I like kind of kicked it. It didn't move. So Ralphie just picks the whole thing up in his mouth.
No way.
And I'm like, no, Ralphie. And he puts it back down. The bird's kind of moving.
Ralphie's your son, right?
Yeah, their dog, yeah. But yeah, so I was like, oh, Megan would have gotten weirded out with that one.
Yeah, I mean, city life, it's crazier than being out in nature.
We got sunglasses here, Robbie.
Yeah, we have 100% Vision.
Do you like the name 100%?
It's a weird name.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But you know what's really hard is Googling them and trying
Yeah.
to find.
Because 100% is everything.
If you put in 100% sunglasses, it's just it's
Everything
very hard to
glass.
find.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Are these? It's a Chinese company, isn't it?
No,
It's not.
no. It's they're American. I don't know if they're American.
You got an extra nose piece.
They started out with like
Oh,
doing
tissue.
motocross type sunglasses and things.
Yeah,
from,
like cycling.
no, for
Oh,
like
like
dirt
motorcycle.
bikes. Yeah.
Oh,
So these are the Hypercraft,
these are hyper.
and then
These
they
look
have.
like the ones I already have.
Wait, they might.
they're
I
the
think you
same.
have the same.
Yeah,
ones.
I think. What do you think, Meg?
So
Wow,
they're pretty
that's something.
pretty shieldy.
Yeah, I like these.
And then we have the
These are nice because they seem smaller.
yeah, and then we have the Westcraft. By the way, this isn't a sponsorship or anything. I just came into the office and brought these boxes
But the boxes
and sat
too.
down and so they were in front of us.
I like those.
Sorry for the crinkling of the paper.
Crinkling of paper.
What's the special thing about these sunglasses? Like, what makes these different than any other sunglasses?
High quality lenses. They usually give you an extra pair of lenses. They're very good at like anti-fog and
They're super
airflow.
insanely lightweight.
Are these on the expensive side?
Yes, very.
They're like in the $180 range. So I guess that's not horrible.
I mean, compared to
But
a
like
gooder,
not gooder status.
No.
or
Yeah, they're
even,
very-
what's it called?
They're premium sunglasses.
What's the other one called? That
What?
the Pit Viper.
Oh, Pippa. Yeah.
What's in the little box?
These? So I lost these pair. When we were on the call with them, I said, "Yeah, I love the one glasses, but I lost.
Oh,
them.
those are the thin metal.
I lost them drunk disc golfing once, and they were like, "All right, we'll send you another pair."
There
I was
you
like,
go.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, super lightweight.
These are the Leger, which were one of my favorite glasses, and I got a lot of compliments from them in the past. Because I like the round frames. Do you like the round frames, or you?
I don't know. I just like whatever Megan doesn't laugh at me when I put on.
Oh, okay.
So that's my gig.
I guess that was our gear corner for the week.
Well, no, we still have. Do we want to get into this?
Oh, the Vanish Tempo
Vanish Tempo looks a lot like
by Altra. We should say
Altra.
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 Ouch. I know it said Altra, but did they mean to say Ultra?
I don't know.
Because that would kind of make sense.
Let me tell you, you're being gaslit by this company, though. This shoe is not a zero drop shoe. It's not even balanced. It's a rocker.
I would say they're bending the definition of zero drop for sure. I was actually talking to somebody about this recently, and they kind of in the industry. I'm not going to say who, but yeah, there's definitely some questionable framing around zero drop these days. But that's not a bad thing, because tell what you think about the shoe.
It's a nice shoe.
It is a really nice shoe.
The fit is good. The foam, I love the Ego foam. The durability
It's Ego
of
Max.
the Ego Max.
Ego Pro.
Ego Pro. The durability of the outsole is better than it is on their race shoe, which is the Altra Vanish Carbon or Vanish C, however you want to say it.
Yeah, a lot more rubber here, right?
I like the toe spring in this. It's got a very nice aggressive toe spring. The cushioning is really nice. I will say, I feel it fits true to size, but the way that my foot sits in it, it slides forward.
Oh, really?
So I end up being up against the toe box, but then when I kick my heel back, I'm like, no, this has got plenty of room.
Oh, okay.
It just slides forward.
I didn't think I had that issue, but
So-
maybe I did.
You can check it out.
I ran in it. I've only done a couple runs in this shoe so far, but I really liked it for what it was. Very nice and lightweight, kind of like the Hyperion Tempo from Brooks, but a little bit.
Bulkier?
Yeah, more. It just feels, I think,
Substantial?
a little bit better.
Okay. My feeling of this shoe, though, it kind of reminds me of the Rincon.
Oh, I could see that for sure.
And the Rincon is $110.
120,
$120. How
Yeah.
much is this one?
190.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly the $190. Usually we don't complain about price that much
Because price to value is all relative.
yeah, but the 190 mark is, I don't know, man. For a tempo-ish shoe, it's a lot.
To me, this is a light daily trainer.
But I also think this will last a lot longer than the Rincon.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think you got a couple things like when I was wearing the.
Wait, why don't you think so?
Because when I was wearing the Vanish Carbon,
Yeah.
this foam started packing out
Really?
pretty quickly. And so I'm going to say
So you don't think it's like
the initial feel, that bouncy, springy cushion on the,
yeah.
when I was wearing the carbon plated one, it started to fall out after, 20 miles. It was like starting to get kind of.
So you don't think it's like the Skechers Hyperburst that lasts a long time?
Yeah, it's
for
not
nitrogen
like,
infused foam.
I don't think
you
it's
don't
like
think it
that.
will.
I think that they've got a lot of oxygen in this one. There's a lot of bubbles. I don't know. It should be fine. Like you can probably run on it for a long time. It feels lightweight. I haven't put it on the scale, but it feels light on the foot. I just don't know that it's a shoe that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to get past the $190 price point, to be honest. But I was surprised at how good it felt. I feel like it's the best feeling Altra shoe I've worn. Maybe
100%.
Yeah,
100. Like that is worth the price right there. If you have to wear Altras, this is probably the one.
but this is also their slim. I think they call it like the slim design. They have two
Don't
different
even think
toe-
about wide foot.
They have the different toe boxes now as they're streamlining things, and this is pretty traditional.
It fits snug on my foot, and I got a narrow foot.
Yeah.
So
So anyways,
it still has kind of like that foot shape. Like if you look at it from the top,
yeah,
it's like
there's a
it's
little
got
bit
the
there.
foot shape, but like you could just shift it over a little bit, and it'd be looking like a normal shoe.
Yeah, but I actually think it looks pretty good too. Like looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's not bad.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's the shoe segment. I don't know if we have any running news per se, and I guess we're almost done anyways. But is there anything we missed, Megan? You said New York. Who's running New York? Who's on the list?
The names that stood out to me were Sarah Hall, Emma Bates.
Oh wow.
Our friends.
Yeah. On the men's side, Galen Rupp's going to be there. Jared Ward. It was a pretty stacked field with especially like U.S. distance runners, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm excited that we'll all be there.
Yeah. Right. Toeing the line with them.
I mean, how many times has Ward done New York?
I don't know.
I think that's like his race.
Yeah,
like I feel like he does it every
10
year.
times or something.
Is Noah Dradi running it? I feel like.
He ran it last time
Yeah.
in the
But I think
Solomon.
I think he dropped like at 17. I was hoping he'd go back for a redemption or something.
Well, he's got a new shoe that everybody was like wearing a Nike Alpha Fly. He's like, it's not a Nike Alpha Fly.
Oh, it's like a new Solomon prototype?
Yeah, so he may have some, and he broke his own personal record on some
wow.
race. So
Cool.
who knows? All right, so who do we got on the podcast this week, Rob?
We got Peter from YMR Track Club over in Sweden. So
I'm from Sweden.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're not.
No.
They make some high quality running gear.
Track inspired.
Yeah, classically inspired stuff that's made in Sweden. So that's kind of cool. So we'll talk to him.
Yeah, we learn a lot about that. They actually had garment making and what do you call it? What is it? Fabric manufacturing. They're in Sweden.
Textile manufacturing.
Yeah, that sounds better. That sounds more
Got it.
professional.
Yeah, so stick around for that. If you're watching the YouTube podcast, make sure you check out the audio version.
Also, we just published out our SC Trainer review with all three of us contributing and
Widefoot Jarrett.
possibly Widefoot Jarrett.
We'll add that to his title.
Yeah, possibly Widefoot Jarrett.
All right.